Hi, I'm Tony Verhoeven, technical trainer for Polaris Industries. In today's video, we're going to show you how to install the Fox shocks on this 850 XCR. The installation procedure is the same regardless of the shock setup you're installing. Before you begin the install, it's important to check and make sure you have all of your parts and all of your tools. Please retain the installation instructions for future reference in parts ordering. Before beginning the installation procedure, we're going to want to elevate the vehicle. We're using a lift here today, but at home we just need to get the suspension 4 to 5 inches off the ground. I'm going to go ahead and remove the right-hand side panel. This is going to allow us access to the plug and the upper shock mount fastener. Next, we'll remove the plug so we have access to pull the bolt in through the fender assembly. So from the inside, I'll just push out lightly, and that plug will work its way out. From inside the chassis, I'll get a socket on that upper fastener, and then a wrench on the other side. Go ahead and break those loose. And I'll remove the nut from the fastener, but I'm going to leave the bolt installed. That way it'll hold the suspension assembly up while I remove the lower bolt. We'll then proceed to the lower bolt with the wrench on the backside and a socket. We'll go ahead and remove the nut from that bolt as well. It's important to note that these fasteners are a single-use fastener. Therefore, we need to replace these with the fasteners provided in the kit whenever we're exchanging shocks. So with the fasteners loosely installed, I'll go ahead and support the suspension assembly and pull the bolts out completely. And then we can work the shock out top first, and it'll come out of the chassis. So with the shock removed, we're ready to go ahead and install our new Fox shock. In the kit, there's going to be 2 bushings. One of them goes in the upper, and one of them goes in the lower. As an added note, it's a good idea to put a little bit of all-purpose grease on here before installing. So I'll just go ahead and set the shock into place. There will be 2 bolts provided in the kit, 1 short bolt and 1 long bolt, as well as 2 new nylock nuts. So the long bolt is for the upper hole. I'll go ahead and feed that from inside the chassis. With the upper bolt loosely installed, we'll move down to the lower bolt, which is the shorter of the 2. And we might need to lift up on the suspension a little bit to get that hole to align. We got the bolt through, and we'll install our 2 new nylock nuts. From inside the chassis again, we'll take our ratchet and socket. And we will snug up the upper mount bolt. With the upper bolt snug, we can move to the lower. And then I'll come back and torque these to specification. So after we've torqued the 2 shock fasteners, we need to go back and reinstall the chassis access plug. So from the outside pushing inward, we'll get that plug back in and make sure it's fully seated and sealed all the way around. Once that's done, we can go ahead and move to the other side of the vehicle and repeat the process.